Hey, we're back and we've got another instant request. Well, as instant as we can get. We got an email saying, hey, what kind of roof valley is best for my roof? I know what's the pros and cons for all that stuff. So we figured, what the heck? Instant request. Let's go ahead and put a quick video together on what's the best roof valley for your house. Before we get started, go ahead, dingle on that bell down there and also hit that subscribe button. And of course, you can always leave us a note down there and we'll answer your questions. Let's start off with the share. How about if we do that?
Sure.
So what is a roof valley, Rich?
So this sounds like a stupid thing to ask somebody, but this is why this picture is great. So
Yeah.
a roof valley are where two planes of a roof meet
Like right in here.
and create a V, right? It's down, right? It's the lower portion. It's inset. It's convex,
Yes.
concave.
Yes.
So what you have aside from that are where two roof planes meet. That would be considered a hip.
Right here. Yep.
Yeah, like an A, right? So it goes like this, where the valley goes like that.
Right.
So that's a valley, that's a valley, that's a hip.
That's the hip, right? That's the hip rafter. And then this,
that's a ridge, valley, valley.
that's a gable end versus the hip that would be laid back.
So where those two roof planes meet, both of them are descending, it creates a V.
Correct.
One might be more of a sideways V than the other one, but you get the point.
Yeah, it is still a valley.
Yeah.
So now what's the best thing to put in here? We'll start with that.
The best thing to put in there is something to stop water. So, and it's funny. So we're going to go to the next picture, which is an open valley. And this is an open valley. But if you go back to the other one, you see this little ridge in this open valley? That little thing? That stops water from shooting across that valley. This roof, somebody bent some sheet metal and made a valley. But if you have water racing down this roof, it could actually go across that valley and under the shingle on the opposing side.
Right. Versus this one that does have that like
little hump to make the water shoot up.
Right. The water dam.
Right.
So as the water goes down this side, it doesn't just go shooting right across and underneath the shingles on this side.
Right. So the first thing you have there is an open valley. So there's basically four types of valleys, the way you handle valleys. And honestly, one is open and three are closed.
Right.
It's just a different way of doing it. And then you get the bonus here because we have a fifth option.
Yes.
Which came across when you sent a response to the subscriber.
Yes.
We both reviewed the video and got a chuckle out of it, which that's my teaser for you to watch this whole 14.5-minute video to come to the teaser or to what's funny. All right. So an open valley, something like on that picture. What's the good about it? The pros?
Yeah.
Well, it costs less shingles, less waste, right? It's faster to install because once you lay that sheet metal down, you just run your shingles left, right. You get to the valley, snap a line, cut it off, done.
Yep.
It's clean looking. I'll give it that. Right. And then it's easy to see if it's clogged. You know, if you have a lot of trees over your house, it'd be pretty obvious if that thing was cluttered with leaves, right? Pretty easy to see.
Yeah.
So those are the goods.
And it's the classic way to do it. You know, if you've got an older home and you know, you're wanting to make it look traditional, that would be a traditional way of handling it, you know, because they had cedar shake or they had slate roofs and they would run metal down all the valleys to carry that because they wouldn't be able to bring the shingles in that tight.
So, and you'll hear us talk about that all through this episode is depending upon the material.
Yes.
As a shake, a concrete tile, slate, pretty hard to do a closed valley.
And what's a closed valley?
Well,
there's one.
Yes, a closed valley. So that's a closed valley. And It's funny because this one is called a closed valley, but it's not a woven closed. So basically, they took the shingles from the left side of that valley and they never cut them off.
They just
They
did.
ran them up that across in
Yep.
that valley. They ran them from where that straight line is, they ran them to the right.
And you can see how they curl up. The lines
They curl up, yes. And then the ones on the right side, they ran them over, snapped the line, and then cut them off clean to give you that valley line. So it's a closed valley. Obviously, there's no flashing showing. This does require a flashing underneath.
Yeah,
Water coming off this small section to the left can go underneath those shingles, and you want to make sure that it doesn't go through your secondary water barrier.
right.
Whether it's 15-pound felt, 30-pound ice and water, you know, nowadays we definitely have ice and water shield in there.
Correct. And here we do 3 feet either side of this, total of 6 feet, and 6 feet up from the gutter line. That's just what we do around here.
Right. So the pros of this type of closed is simply best protection against water infiltration. It gives the roof a continuous finish look. And it also does a nice job of helping with insulating. In other words, you don't have metal exposed, you don't have the thermal conduction. So it actually can help a little bit with insulation.
Right.
The downside to this, the cons of this are more material, so a little more costly than an open valley.
Right.
But if you have a leak, the other problem you have, or the other issue is, it's hard to find the leak. Now, it depends how big that valley is, but to find a leak, if you have a leak in an area of a valley, you don't take a hose and throw it at the top.
No.
If you throw it at the top, you're back to rain. If you have a leak and you take a hose and you start at the very bottom and you start pumping water at that first course of shingles, no leak. You go to the second course, and you got to do this patiently, like at least 10 minutes each.
Right.
And go to the third course. When you find the leak, you're there. If you start at the top, you're not learning anything. So you have to start at the bottom, work your way up.
You're just
So
you're just confirming that it leaks. That's all you're doing.
Yeah. And then you still rip it all apart and fix it properly, because it means your secondary water barrier or your valley flashing have failed.
Correct.
All right. So the third one is still a closed valley, but it's called woven. So you can see the difference, right? The shingles are alternating course. They're woven together. This gives you a better seal. Does, again, I don't know whether it's better looking. I don't know, in the sense that I don't think it's better looking, in the sense that I don't have a defined valley.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a clean look. You don't have any breaks in it, so it's a smoother, cleaner look, I think, overall.
I know, but when you do a ridge cap, and that's why I like this picture with the hip. So when you have a ridge cap up there, I have a defined line because of that ridge cap, but I don't have a defined line of the valley. So that valley, maybe it's, 36 or 40 inches back from that hip. I'd like having that straight line there.
Yeah, it's a different look.
It's a different look. Now, this is still better. The downside is, of course, it's more material because I got to run both my shingles up. It also takes more skill. Because you don't do one row, cut it off, do this next side of the roof, cut it off. You have to do these at the same time, so to speak. You want to bring them together and you alternate laps. So to me, it's a great way of doing your roof, probably the best way, but not necessarily the best looking.
Yeah, durability wise, I mean, you're really stacked up there good. You've got a lot of shingles in the valley. It's really going to be a durable way to do it.
Right. And now we're going to go back to what I made a comment earlier. This still all depends on your material. You can't do this with concrete tile. You cannot do this with shakes. You can't do it with, in slate. You can only do this with, even 3-tabs are limited, because a 3-tab still has a joint. So a laminated or an architectural shingle, you can do this. A 3-tab, you can do it, but it's more difficult.
Well, yeah, because
I think that's where our last one, I'm going back to my teaser, I think that's where the last one comes from, but we're not there yet.
You ready?
Let's go to the California cut.
Yeah, this was a new one. I had
No, this is not the new one. This is the California cut.
no, for me, this was new to me. I hadn't heard of this one either.
Oh yeah, no, this is kind of my favorite for trying to weave it and keep it looking clean.
So you're still getting still
So
getting
you're lapping, but instead of having your weave go perpendicular, you run this one down. Now I have a straight line and I have all the protection I need going back for about 12 inches. And now I shingle over that going back the other direction, perpendicular to that valley. That's your California cut. And that actually is fairly fast. It's cleaner looking. It's pretty quick. As long as you notice that every course of shingle underneath that one that's in the valley, the one that's going vertically,
this
you
one,
notice they're all sticking past the top of that.
right?
And that's part of the key. If the guy only had 3 inches of shingle in that valley and put this over the top, that's not enough. You gotta have your shingle staggered enough.
Yeah, these are all coming out every row.
Yeah. So still the downside to this is, on a heavy rain, you can have water get underneath that shingle and run back, right? And could possibly cause a leak. But you notice too, they got GAF, the armor on there, whatever,
Yep.
their water barrier. That's waterproof. So wherever you put too many nails, that's where you get a leak.
Yes, unless you use an ice and water shield, because that'll seal around the nails.
Right.
So
Well, that helps. There's no doubt.
yeah,
Okay. So finally, the teaser. What's the new contender? And this came from the article that you found. Was it Fine Home Building?
fine home building. Yes.
Yeah. So this is called the the Long Island Valley. Now you see what they did. They ran all their shingles all the way up. They did call it vertical shingle, just like the California cut.
But they flipped this. Notice
Well, they flipped it, which that gives you your constant
color.
finish, right? You don't have all those weird angle or little pieces.
Right.
But what they did then, instead of laying your shingles over and cutting them like you would on a regular closed California cut or whatever, and that's what the yellow chalk is showing. They just took the edge of the shingle and put it on the snap line, on your chalk line. So you don't have to cut all those shingles. So it's a little faster. Still going to look good from the ground.
Yep.
I mean, it's like maybe on the roof it'll look odd. So it looks like a cut valley. It's faster to install. Typically, two issues with it. The cons of this. It typically only works with laminated shingles because, again, a 3-tab, you can't space them like that.
Correct.
3-tab's going to be that kind of weird look. And your 3-tab ticket, typically the very top of it is black. I mean, even if it's a white shingle, the top is black with the tar strip, right? So you can't just flip the shingle over. So it may not work with a 3-tab. I think the biggest con to using this, which was also in their article, we are taking this from Fine Home Building, it's not approved by any manufacturer.
Oops.
Oops is right. So if you have a roof leak and they come out and they see that you've got a Long Island weave or a Long Island valley, you're pretty much on your own. So for now, it's me. Don't do it.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Don't be the first guy. Well, obviously you're not the first guy. This guy already did it.
So the thing about this too is it looks like they're starting that shingle and they're going to the right. So he's sliding it up to that and he's running across. He's not using the standard spacing. So what's going to determine the spacing is the angle of that valley.
Yes. To sum this up, which valley treatment is best for your house? Well, consider simple factors. Cost.
Yep.
Open valley is going to be the least expensive, and it still gives you nice clean lines.
Yep.
Right. Think of your climate though. If you get monsoon rains, 5 inches in 2 hours, like I get, sometimes, no open valleys, no. It's too much water coming down the plane of the roof. The valley is it's just going to get pushed up in there.
It's going to
And
wash across.
so how's it going to look on your home? So like I just said, if you're doing a shake roof or a slate roof or tile roof, and you want that extra look of, it looks nice, right? A little classy. Do the open valley. Again, don't do an open valley where you get extreme weather. And then your roofing material. Like I said, open valleys, you have almost no choice with tile, slate, and shakes.
Right.
But
Well,
most asphalt products or fiberglass reinforced shingles, you can do any type you want.
yep. They'll go anywhere.
Mhm.
Go anywhere, do anything. There you
So
go.
hopefully that helps.
Yeah. The roofing season's starting to get going here. I'm sure it never stops by you, but
Nope.
unless it stops in the summer, maybe because it's too hot to get up there. All right. Well, if you got any questions on how to do your roof valleys, then
Comments.
yeah, throw something down in the comment. In the meantime, make sure you hit that subscribe button, dingle on the bell, and I'll say keep it square and level.
Till next time.
Till next time. There you go.